All right, kids, I am going to go over your problems from last night. A lot of you failed this assignment. So, one, you are either not paying attention to your signs, you're not paying attention to the ordering if it's supposed to be from least to greatest or greatest to least, or you simply just did not watch the video because you guys typically do fine when it comes to ordering decimals, but I only had a couple people to actually pass this assignment, and so I know that you are getting your feedback as soon as you submit, which of course you can only submit it one time because I only grade the first submission, so you're able to see your grades. So I'm going to go over this, and you have a quiz on Thursday. It's a 1-question quiz, so you have a one shot to get this correct. So after you go through this video and you still do not understand, this is going to be your opportunity to send in your questions. If you understand why you got it wrong, great. If not, you need to be sending me a message, okay? All right, so the first problem says that 321,421 and 1/100 is greater than 321,421 thousandths. And so you want to know if that is true or false. Is the first number greater than the second number? Based on the video that I've shown you, you should have wrote your numbers as such, or put them in a place value chart. But either way, you can line these up, and I'm actually going to switch colors just because the second number is 321,421 and okay, there we are. 001. And so if you go across as I showed you, first numbers are the same. All of these numbers are the same. You can't compare them. You get over here to the tenths place. That is the same, right? And then so now you're comparing your 1 and the 0 in the hundredths place. You want to know which one of those numbers is the greatest. The 1 is larger, and that is the actual first number here. So the statement is 321,421 and 1/100 is larger or greater than that second number. That is true. So you should have marked true for your answer. The second problem says to select the following that is ordered from least to greatest. That is the most important part, that you make sure that you're paying attention to this, least to greatest. So you want the smallest number first, the biggest number last. And so for each of your answer choices, it is the same number. So you could have just written them out as such. I would have probably put this in a place value chart if you are still not able to line your numbers up correctly. So the first number, I'm just going to take the numbers from the first answer choice. So 1 and 25 thousandths. Then we have 10 and 25 hundredths. Super important that you're actually lining up your numbers. Place value is important. 10 and 25 thousandths, and then basically $1.25. And so at this point, let me switch colors on you real quick. At this point, you want to find the smallest number because it says least to greatest. So at this point, we know that it cannot be the tens at all. We shouldn't even be looking at those because 10 is bigger than the ones, right? And so with that being said, you're going to look at your 1. We have 1 and 1. Can't compare those two numbers, so you go to the next place value. You have 0 and 2. Which of those two numbers is the smallest? Exactly. 0 is the smallest, so that means that if we start ordering things from least to greatest, this would come first. This one would have to come second. Okay? I'm going to switch numbers. Not numbers, colors. Now that means we're back to our two numbers that start with 10. We can't compare the two 10s because those numbers are the same. So if we go over to our next place value, which is the 10th place. So we have a 2 and a 0. We're still ordering from least to greatest. So of those two numbers, which is the smallest? The 0 is the smallest, so that means that it would come next in order. And of course, this one would have to come last. So with those numbers that I have off to the side, that is how you're going to find your correct answer. So you have 1 and 25 thousandths coming first. We need to find that. If you look at your answer choices, A has it first, B does not, so you can mark that one off. C does not, D does. So we're in between those two answer choices. Then the next number is 2. It is 1 and 25 hundredths, which is $1.25. You are looking for the number that is going to come next. This one is 10.25. This is 1.25, right? So that means off top, this one is already wrong. So the answer would have to be D. But if you go ahead and just double check your answers, the third number in order should be 10 and 25 thousandths. Looking at number 3, and then looking at number 4 would be 10.25, which is $10.25. So that would be your correct answer. Last problem. We have Emily bought the following amounts of fruit at a fruit stand. 7,500 pounds of grapes, 5,000 pounds of bananas, and 1 and 2,500 pounds of apples. Which fruit weighs the least? Which of those numbers is the least? That's the question. So we have 3 numbers. Simply put them in order. Well, not in order. You can line them up, and then we're going to figure out which one comes in the correct order. 0.50 and 1.25. These are really, really easy, guys. So, of course, we're going to start comparing. 0, 0, 1. 1 is the biggest. We're not looking for the biggest. We're looking for the smallest. So you could go ahead and mark that off. We're looking at our 2 zeros. We can't really compare that place value, so we're going to look at the 7 and the 5. Which of those two numbers is the smallest? Of course, 5 is the smallest. Your answer should have been the 0.50. Which one weighs that? Bananas. This is for bananas. This was the grapes. And 1.25 goes with apples. So you needed to be looking at bananas. And that is your correct answer. Please send me messages, send me a video on Flipgrid, whatever you need to do to ask questions. You can record a video in Class Dojo if you still do not understand what you are supposed to be doing. But you need to go back and review the YouTube video because I address all of this. There's no reason for you guys to be getting this wrong if you are watching the videos. Do not skip the video and expect to get your answers correct. That is all. I will see you guys tomorrow if you have any questions.